Hey, and welcome to J.Carmels Kitchen. I'm so happy that you are here again, tuning in, and we have buttercream frosting today. This is probably my favorite because I used to use the little buttercream packets, containers that you find in the store. And then one day I finally said, let me make my own buttercream, and looked up some recipes and then decided to come up with my own. So I'm going to teach you today how to make homemade buttercream frosting in this easy step-by-step tutorial. When I tell you this is the best recipe out there because it's easing with piping, which that's when you pipe it on cupcakes or on a cake. It tastes good. You could add food coloring to this and not have that like processed taste. And it's perfect. And this is like the base to any frosting that you want to start with. For instance, my cream cheese frosting, we will add only 8 ounces to this and you will have cream cheese frosting. That's it, right? So let's get started, and this is going to be an easy step-by-step tutorial. All right, so now that it was going fast without me. So now with the butter, now that it's nice and smooth, we are going to add the powdered sugar. There's no special way in adding the powdered sugar. Just don't add it crazy, okay? So this is 4 cups, and we're just gonna add a little at a time. That looked like a lot, but it's not. So once we put it on, you see all that smoke? You want to lock this in place. Just make sure you just cover a little bit because it will fly all over you, and we want to start at a low speed. All right, and as that's blending together, because if I turn this up, it's going to fly all in my face. We're just going to make sure that the butter and the powdered sugar is really incorporating together. And it looks like clumps, but the more it blends, the more it's going to smooth over. Okay, so she's a little smooth. And you always want to add it when the machine's off. Listen, I think I posted it on Instagram before. Caleb was helping me. He put it on high, and it was all over his face. And it's happened to me even without Caleb, so I can't blame the kids, right? So we're just gonna add that. Just a little bit of vanilla, teaspoon. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add a pinch of the salt. Why we're doing this is I'm just gonna add 2 pinches because I didn't get a good grip on it. This takes away the heavy sweetness of the heavy cream and the vanilla and the powdered sugar, because powdered sugar is really sweet. So that just evens it out. We're going to blend that. And while this is on low, I'm going to slowly add in the heavy whipping cream. Now I'm just gonna put it on a higher spin. And we just wanna make sure everything is blended in there. Now that I have this on like medium speed, I'm gonna keep this for like 3 to 5 minutes. One thing about the buttercream and heavy cream, you have to let it incorporate together and have a little air going into it because butter is yellow. So when we do this, we'll make sure it's blending together, and then the color of the white for the powdered sugar starts coming in and that yellow disappears. And probably midway, I'm going to go back and just scrape the edges off and then have it whip for like another minute. So I'm just going to turn her off, and we're just going to go. Look at how white that is compared to when you saw that yellow color before. But I'm just making sure all the butter is off the edges because butter is really stubborn. And I've learned that throughout this experience of cake making. All right, and I'm just gonna have it whip for like another minute. All right, so she is finished. Look how white and fluffy and pretty she is. Like the consistency is there. It looks amazing. But one thing about buttercream is there has to be arm work no matter what. So when you see this, it looks nice and fluffy, but if I was to go to pipe this on a cake right now or my cupcakes, that's where you get little air pockets. And we have to make sure we whip with our actual physical muscle, whip the air out of it so it becomes creamy consistency and it could just smooth on the cake or piping on a cupcake, whatever the case may be. So we're gonna start that right now. So I'm just gonna remove this off for the whipping part. All right. So this is arm work and we're about to get this started. So you just want to go your hardest and whip out all the air and smooth it out. And I do this for about 2 minutes. This is serious, guys. You're going to hate me for this part, but it has to be done. Because actually, when I did this in the past, all I did was whip it with the mixer. And I was wondering why I was getting air pockets. And when I did cake, and when you do cake, the air pockets don't show up immediately. It's after you crumb coat it, after you take it out the refrigerator and put another coating on it, and literally there's a bubble on the side of your cake. And I would be so disappointed because I could not figure out what I was doing wrong. And one day I said, you know what? Let me kind of just play with this a little bit and just make it a little bit of creamier. Because I was wondering why when I saw other people's, I'm so out of breath. Saw other people's buttercream, why it looked so creamy and mine, it wasn't that it wasn't creamy, it was just still fluffy, you know? Okay, so right here, I'm going to show you with this. Look at how smooth it is compared to when it was just fluffy, right? You see that? But you see those little air pockets? You still see that? We still got to work that out. Okay. So, think I'm good. Yeah. Still a little bit of air bubbles, but we're good compared to before. Oh my goodness. The perfect buttercream. If you see the C, it's not going anywhere. You could still taste the butter in there. You could still taste the vanilla. And like I said, the base of this, you can add food coloring to it. Necessarily, you want to have a gel food coloring for if you're doing darker colors, but a liquid base. Because sometimes when you have oil base mixed with butter, it just makes it really oily. So you want to make sure you have a liquid base just going in there. And then also, I'm trying to think, I've added vanilla bean paste to this and get like a strong vanilla bean frosting. Also, like I said, you add the cream cheese, 8 ounces of cream cheese to this. Then you have cream cheese frosting. You could also add coconut flavor. You have coconut. It's so many things you can do with this basic buttercream recipe. And I hope you guys enjoy this so much. Please remember to go to J.Carmels on Instagram and visit the website so you can see all these different recipes and just anything that you would like to order. But mainly subscribe to this channel so you can get these easy step-by-step tutorials of all the homemade things of your heart desire. But I can't wait to see you guys next week.